the first thing that we learn from this chapter is contemporary reality, the meaning of contemporary reality, because this lesson deals in the contemporary reality of child labor. There are other examples of contemporary reality which I have told you about, but this particular lesson focuses on this contemporary reality. The practice, and how you will define contemporary reality, is any practice that prevails despite being banned by the government. And this is how the the editor of this particular book has abridged this particular chapter. And he says, Lost Spring by Anish Jung deals with the contemporary reality of child labor and is an effort to sensitize the privileged lot to the suffering, the misery that these people, underprivileged lot, lead their lives in. So we first move on to, having considered this brief background, we move on to the first account. The first real life account is that of Sahib-e-Alam. Sahib-e-Alam. He happens to be a rag picker, and the author Anish Jung meets him because she is a journalist also. Anish Jung happens to be a journalist also, and a journalist's purpose is to bring out the serious social issues afflicting society into the forefront. And before we are told of the meeting, of this meeting between Sahib-e-Alam and the author, the author tells us that Sahib-e-Alam comes from Bangladesh, and the inclement weather conditions which washed away the fields and his house brought Sahib-e-Alam and his family to India, and he presently resides in New Delhi. He stays there. So he has a distant memory of his homeland and has taken up rag picking to make ends meet. And the author happens to meet him and asks if Sahib-e-Alam, asks him what he does. Sahib-e-Alam replies what he does, and for the sake of it, the author asks Sahib-e-Alam if he would like to go to school. Sahib-e-Alam replies there are no schools in the locality that he lives in, and the author says if she builds a school, would he prefer going there? Sahib-e-Alam says yes. Fine. Having said this, the two part, and the two, once again, the author and Sahib-e-Alam, that is, happen to meet coincidentally once again. And the first question Sahib-e-Alam asks if the school is ready. And this makes this query, this question of Sahib-e-Alam makes the author Anish Jung realize the futility of her assertion if he would come to school or prefer going to school if there was one. Fine, the narrative rolls on. We are told that like Sahib-e-Alam, there are many other rag pickers, and on the outskirts of New Delhi, nation's capital, and they swarm a pile of garbage, pile of garbage. They swarm a pile of garbage. Garbage. A pile of garbage, that is. They swarm a pile of garbage like birds of prey, like birds, descend on it and empty that particular pile of garbage of its valuable contents within minutes. So this reflects the suffering, the misery, the destitution, the helplessness of this particular section of society. And these are barefooted. All these are barefooted. All these are barefooted. All these rack pickers are barefooted. And the author wants to know the reason why the rack pickers are barefooted. And the simple answer is that it is customary not to wear shoes or slippers, to remain barefooted. So, and the author, this is that it is a custom to remain barefoot is the reasoning forwarded by these swarm of rack pickers. However, the author sees through the reasoning and observes that it is the religion, it is the custom that these people use to explain the perpetual state of poverty, perpetual state of poverty. So they use religion or custom as a perpetual state of poverty. Fine. We are told of the fact, we are taken into the locality where Sahib Alam together with other rack pickers live, and we are taken to Seema Puri, on the outskirts of Delhi, on the outskirts of Delhi. And Anis Chung describes Seema Puri, where we have hutments and shacks where these rack pickers live in. We are told, although Seema Puri is very near New Delhi, yet far away from it. Although Seema Puri is very near New Delhi, yet it is far, far away from it. This is antithesis. This is contrast. The exact words that Anis Chand uses are as follows. She says, although Seema Puri is literally very near New Delhi, yet metaphorically or figuratively it's quite distant from it. Now there are two words here. One, figuratively or metaphorically, and second, and the other word that we'll try to understand is literally. Now, the meaning of the word literally here is exactly, and the meaning of the word metaphorically or figuratively is the opposite of literally. So, although Seema Puri is very near New Delhi, yet far off away from it.